My name is Stacey, and I'll be your nurse today. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull them in.
Okay.
Great. So, what's your name?
I'm Jalen.
Hi, Jalen. Nice to meet you.
You too.
And you are?
I'm Ethan, Jalen's boyfriend and Jake's father.
Okay, nice to meet you too, Ethan.
Good to meet you.
And your baby's name is?
Jake.
Jake. Aw, he is so cute. You guys are he is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, great. So, is now a good time for me to do your assessment?
Yeah, right now works for me.
Yep.
Okay, it sounds good. I know the nurse did an assessment when you first came in. I understand it was a little bit chaotic, but there's kind of some pieces that we didn't get to since your delivery came so quickly last night. So I thought maybe I'd do some of the health history part of your assessment. Is now a good time for you?
Yep.
Okay. So okay if I pull up a chair and sit by you?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to grab my computer too here. Okay, so what I'm going to collect today is what's called a genogram and an echo map. And so a genogram is basically like a family tree where it talks about family health history, who we're related to, whoever you think is your family, is whether they're blood related or not. We're going to put that on your genogram, their age and any health issues that they have. That gives us a better picture of your health and Jake's health and Ethan's health as well. So we kind of take a whole kind of a snapshot of your family unit. And then the echo map is really about resources, what you have available in your community and those kinds of things. So we can get you set up with the right people to help you feel supported before you go home.
Okay.
If there's one question I could answer for you today, what might that be?
I'd say housing. We both live in the student dorms and they don't allow babies. We thought we had an extra month to go find an apartment or a townhome, and they've been kind of expensive. So it just kind of came very fast, and we don't really know what to do for housing.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think probably the best person for you to speak with would be our social worker. We have an excellent social worker on staff. Her name is Maya, and she'll be able to come in and talk to you guys about housing options here for you, kind of in more of an emergent, quick type of placement, but she'll be able to talk with you about what's available in our county. So,
Okay.
Do you have a place you could go right after discharge for now, or?
Well, we could stay at my parents' for a little bit, but they're an hour away from our college, so it's kind of inconvenient. So I'd say housing's quite a priority to try and get soon.
Okay, sure, I understand that. Anything for you immediately right now, Ethan, that I should be aware of?
Yeah, we were also worried about insurance for Jake, especially with the cleft lip.
Okay, I can understand that. So, are you covered under your parents still, or do you
Yes.
have your own? So
Under
your
my
parents. Okay. So with our, with our laws currently, you're able to be staying under your parents until you're 26. But of course, Jake is not covered under your parents' insurance. So that is again a great topic of conversation to speak with Maya, our social worker on staff, and she'll be able to help set you up with that. Likely, it might be like Medicaid, or it's called the Children's Health Insurance Program. We also call it CHIP. So one of those two options would likely work best for Jake. And so that will help you, especially with, in the future, he'll have some surgeries with his cleft lip and palate and those kinds of things. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, good questions. How's the feeding been going with Jake?
Well, I've been kind of scared. I don't really know how to, do it, especially with his cleft lip. I have kind of been struggling in that area.
Okay, so we do have a lactation consultant that's also here on staff, and she works every day. So I'll be able to put in that referral, and she actually has some additional education that's really good for babies who are born with cleft lip and cleft palate. So we want you both to feel really comfortable and confident before you go home with your feeding schedule. So I'll have her stop in as well. So I will for sure put in a referral for the social worker and the lactation consultant. Is there anything else that is immediately pressing for you?
Well, I'd also say our financial. I'm a full-time student, so I don't have a job, and then he has a job, but it's only part-time, and he only gets minimum wage.
Okay, I can understand that being a concern. So I believe that the social worker would have some extra low-income housing options, or maybe possibly even free, depending upon the situation of the finances. But That's a great question. I'll mark that down as well, and then have her speak with you about that too. So finances, housing, and lactation. That's probably the 3 priority needs that you guys have.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is now a good time for me to go through your family health history and build a genogram? Okay. So, Jalen, can you tell me, who is your parents?
Stacey and Jed.
Okay, and what are their ages?
Well, my dad's 51 and my mom is 48.
Okay, and do you have any siblings?
Yes, 3.
And what are their names?
So Shelby, and she's 23. And then Brooke, and she's 21. And then my little sister Stella, and she's 9.
Okay, and those are all girls?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, do they have any family health history issues like diabetes or hypertension, like high blood pressure that I should mark in your chart?
Nothing that I know of. Just some depression runs through the family, and I get depressed, especially like seasonal depression and kind of here and there besides that.
Okay, so you have some seasonal depression. Anything else I should note for you, Jalen?
No.
Okay. And how about you, Ethan, for baby Jake's health history? What kinds of things that I should be aware of to put as part of his family health history?
Yeah, so my dad has diabetes, but no other family history.
Okay, and what's your dad's name?
John.
Okay. And how old's your father?
55.
Okay. And do you have a mother still living?
Yep.
And what's her name?
Amy.
Okay. And how old is Amy?
53.
Okay. And do you have any siblings?
No.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So I will put that John has diabetes, and anything from your health history I should be aware of.
Nope.
Okay, sounds good. And of course, we've got that that baby Jake has a cleft lip, cleft palate, so we'll make sure and get you hooked up with those kinds of things. Another resource I'm thinking about that would work really well for your family is Women's Infant and Children. We also call it WIC. So that's a resource that you could use up until Jake is age 5. And so that's another thing that the social worker could speak with you about today too.
Okay.
So yeah, so I got a good picture of that. Any other resources that you use in your area?
Well, we just go to his church in his hometown, but there's not really anything besides that.
Okay, and so are you wanting to be connected with a church locally here, or?
Yeah, we'd appreciate that.
You would like that? Okay.
His is 2 hours away, so.
And what religion are you both?
Catholic.
Christian.
You're Christian. Okay. So would you like to be set up with the Catholic one, or which one would you like?
Catholic.
Catholic? Okay. You can try it out and
Yeah.
go from there, right?
Yeah.
I'll let the priest there know that you're interested in joining. Okay. Sounds good. So I will go ahead and put the referral in for the lactation consultant, the social worker, and then those are the 2, right? And then she'll talk to you about the finances and health insurance with those things. So
Okay.
any other questions before I go?
Yeah, am I able to stay with Jake and Jalen tonight? I just don't want to leave them alone.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You're welcome to use the recliner there. We have a couch that pulls out into a bed that you can sleep there, and we can bring you some pillows and blankets there. That we'd love to have you spend the night, and that will help Jalen while she's sleeping and getting baby Jake for feeding and those kinds of things. So I'm sure she'd appreciate your support tonight, so not a problem.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Any other questions I can answer for you before I go?
Well, also finals are coming up, so that's kind of been a stressor for us, and me especially with being in this hospital bed, is I feel like I'm kind of getting behind in my schoolwork.
Yeah. So I'm guessing finals are coming up probably pretty quick. Yeah. Maybe what you guys want to think about doing is maybe even asking for an extension from your professors, tell them what happened. Maybe they can give you in progress or something, and you can finish things up over your winter break and then get things back on track for your schooling. I think that'd probably be the best route, is just to maybe email or call your professors and ask for that extension, being the circumstances of Jake coming a little faster than you expected him to. So that might be the best way to do that. Great question. Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. All right, well, thank you both for your time, and I'll send the social work in a little bit later today then.
Okay, thank you.
good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.